I want to go fast, but fast too slow.
Shazbot!
Hello!
Hello again. Oh dear.
Technical issues make this job so much more fun.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Aye.
Especially with no supercomputers. So welcome back to Shazbot, episode 2.
Episode 2, with no title.
Yeah, I think that's our working title, untitled. Or...
Hehe.
Anyway, it's just me and David again, of course. Why would you want anyone else?
We're the best.
Well, that's a stretch. Especially right now.
Okay, I'll stop.
Let's not sing. It's a gaming podcast, not music. We are not.
Music.
We are not Coverville. And yeah, so me and David are here for episode 2. The others may eventually guest.
They'll turn up eventually.
Yeah, we'll dig them out of the ground sometimes. Put them back in the pit. But yeah, me and David are here to talk to you about a couple things.
It won't be as long this one, we don't think. Well, we're not sure, but...
Well, I don't know. I'm only really here to talk about one specific game that I'm extremely interested in. But it's currently in development. And there's not much. I mean, there's a lot for what there is out.
From what you've told me already, it sounds pretty amazing, but... Wait, I can't remember what it's called. What was it called again?
You'll find out later.
Oh yes, because we got... Okay, for this episode...
I'm just going to leave my thing till last.
Because Omar's thing is quite long, and we don't know what exactly...
how long it's going to take to recount everything.
Exactly, yeah. I'm going to go first, and my stuff isn't really long. Like, the first thing really I wanted to talk about was for the channel. I'm gonna start uploading Let's Plays of certain games, and the first game I'm planning, well, the first of 3 games I'm planning to pull up is Metal Gear Solid 1, which will be part of the saga. Like, so starting from 1, going all the way to 5. We're going to include the 2 MSX games just to keep the entire storyline together. But
so there's a total of 7.
There's more than that as well. There's PSP games and stuff coming as well.
Yeah, but fuck that.
No, they'll be good. They're well good. And then, well, Peace Walker was HD remastered for the PS3, so I don't have to worry about that.
No.
But like as spin-offs or like random episodes, I wanted to do the Acid games as well, because they're interesting how they deviate from the main stories and the plot.
I've never seen them or anything.
They're good. I mean, I enjoy them because they're like an RPG version of Metal Gear, but you still really have to think about everything, like noises, where's the enemy, how to get to the other end of the map without being seen, that kind of stuff.
So, well, that's kind of the Metal Gear Solid fashion, though, isn't it? You're stealthy. You can't just run in, guns are blazing. True,
but in the normal Metal Gear games, you've got full control over your character, whereas in the Acid games, you have like turns. So like, it's kind of like playing chess. So you'll say to your character, go to that location, and then
snake to E4.
Basically, yeah. And because of that, you can come up with a lot more strategies and things like that. It's going to be cool. But yeah, the main games are going to be the focus. So 1, 2, 3, Peace Walker, Portable Ops on the PSP maybe, because that brought back real-time control to the characters. What else? Number 4, number 5. There was one that came out for the GameCube, which was basically a redone version of the first one, but I don't have a GameCube. Although I have.
Well, whoops. Was it just a remastered version, or was it a completely different game with like a spiritual successor?
No, it was the same story, but in the PS1 version, all the graphics looked very blocky, and as you can imagine, the PS1 was capable. But when they redid it for the GameCube, it looked a lot more like. You haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2, have you?
I don't think so. I think I played MSX or something.
Yeah, because
one of the X ones. I can't remember. All I remember is it was a big, chunky, like 2 or 3 disc box
Oh,
for the
Jesus.
PS1. Yeah, I can't remember that far back. I
That'd
can't
be
remember
Metal Gear
last
Solid
week.
1.
So,
Because the first Metal Gear
okay,
Solid game
so I played that.
did that.
Yeah, so I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2 now, or any of the others.
So if you think like on the GameCube, that was when Time Splitters 2 and 3 came out, and basically PS2 level graphics. So they redid the story
Sort
of
of,
Metal Gear
yeah.
Solid 1, but with PS2 graphics.
Ah,
It looked pretty good actually. The voice acting, even though David Hayter, the voice actor for Snake, basically gave up half his paycheck to get all the old voice actors back in.
it's good.
I mean, the game is still good, and you get like first-person view and things like that in it as well, but it wasn't as awesome as the PS1 version. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but you'll see what I mean when I start playing it. So yeah, that was basically the Metal Gear Solid for the GameCube, which I'm hoping to get on the channel at some point, because I have seen a GameCube in our local retro store. I love that place.
I've got one.
You got a GameCube?
Yeah.
We should get you to play it, because it'll get you into Metal Gear games.
I don't really like Metal Gear.
But it's good.
I'm
If
more
you
of a
like-
guns blazing than.
I mean,
The only stealth I enjoy are like sniper type games. I can't remember.
oh,
Sniper Elite and Assassin's Creed. Even like
if like in Metal Gear 3, I'd say 3 and 4, you have the
Yeah.
option to go in all guns blazing, because the situations in those games kind of mean you have to. Like,
yeah, they're set more in a war, aren't they, than
Yeah.
like sneaking onto a torpedo thing.
Yeah, I mean, you do make the game harder for yourself if you want to go in guns blazing, but you have the option now in Metal Gear Solid 4 especially.
Yeah, so I won't play the MS1. Damn it, Metal Gear Solid 1 remake on the GameCube. I might play 4 and 5. I think I played a little bit of what was it, 5 at yours?
I mean, wait, 4 maybe, that would have been. I can't
Was it
remember.
4? Wasn't it with the guy with the swords?
Oh, Raiden. Yeah, because there's a ninja
Yeah,
with
the
swords.
Raiden one.
It's either that or you're talking about Metal Gear Rising. You'd like that? That's not. There's
It
no
might have been
stealth in
Rising.
that. Because there's no stealth
What
in that
was-
game.
What was it that when I came up to York?
No, that would have been 4 because Rising
so it was
hadn't
4.
come out then. Same character,
Okay.
but previous game.
Yeah, yeah. So I played 4. That was pretty fun. But yeah,
I think you'd like the
I'm not
online
stealthy.
games, like the online version of Metal Gear, because like no one stealths around in the online stuff. Everyone's running around
yeah,
shooting
of course.
each other. But you get all the nice
course, it's online.
quirks, so you can like hide using a cardboard box or stealth camouflage or all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Compared to like, I like Call of Duty and things like that, but it's just you get more features to play around with Metal Gear Online. I'll put a couple of
Okay.
gameplay videos up and you'll see what I mean, but it is fun.
Yeah.
But then, what are the other games I'm going to be playing? Catherine, that'll be the next game that I
Yes.
play for the channel. I'm going to have days for playing these games, so it'll be like Metal Gear Mondays, Catherine Tuesdays, and the last game I'll come up to in a second, but that'll be on Wednesday. But yeah,
Why not Catherine's Saturday? Because then it's Cataday. Like
you're a genius,
all of the
Omar.
internet.
Yes, I'll do
Like all the internet, Cataday.
Hell yes, I'm gonna write that down. So it'll be Catherine Canada, and you played a little bit in this game already, haven't you, Omar?
Yeah, when I had my PS3, I bought it on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah,
It is so fucking weird.
it is a weird
I-
ass game.
It's definitely a David game.
Anime references.
Weirdo.
Even if
Yeah,
it
apart
wasn't
from
for
that.
the anime stuff and the erotic stuff, because it's made by the same
I don't even. Who made it? 'Cause I
Atlas,
no idea.
the same guys
Atlas.
who did Persona. That's another reason why I really like it. But they're like the Persona games themselves are weird, in a good way.
I've never played the Persona games. I don't have a well, I think there's a PSP Go in the house, but I think there's like a we got Daxter, or yeah, we got a Daxter game. I think a WWE game, but that's my little brother's anyway. So, oh well.
I think only one Persona game came out for the PSP. I think you can download it, but there's a PS2 version of it. But at some point I was gonna let's play that as well, so you'll see me playing it on the channel at some point. But not
Yeah, so
this,
I'll probably watch it then.
Like not this week.
Not this yeah.
Not this year. Probably not. I mean, if I'm trying to get all the Metal Gear games out as well, that's gonna take up.
Ages. But yeah, back to Catherine.
Catherine.
Now, weird game.
I'm looking forward to it. 'Cause to be totally honest, I've only played the first hour of it, and
I played a bit more, but
I haven't finished it. But it looks really good.
it is pretty good. I can't really remember that much of it. I remember it was alright. Extremely weird. I was really put off it. But there's a lot of it. There's a lot of like I can't remember any of the dialogue.
Drama.
Sexual imagery. I mean, just the start screen is this girl. I assume that's actually Catherine. Can't remember, but
There's two Catherines,
right.
one with a C, one with a K. The C Catherine is blonde.
the blonde one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this, I think it was the splash screen, or just the start when you start the game up is just Catherine with her legs wide open, sitting on the floor, with like the name of the game covering all of it apart from her legs, and I was like, right, well, this isn't a game to play around family
Oh god, no.
or anyone religious, extremely religious.
That's part of the reason I want to play it, because it looks so odd. Like the people who like the Persona games, they're aimed more towards teenagers, young adults, things like that. Catherine is aimed at a slightly more mature audience, I'd say. But it looks good.
Yeah,
It looks really good. And
I
I'm
had
interested.
nightmares about it.
You had nightmares about it.
No, not really.
I probably will. Turn into a sheep and then, oh god, and then my girlfriend's gonna see me playing it and be like, "Well, who would you pick then? The bitchy
Good thing
Catherine
you're in
or the
Wales."
sexual Catherine?" Wales. Sheep are
Yeah, sheep
everywhere.
shagger.
I'm gonna go like to work on the bus, like look out on a field of sheep, and just see like a ton of women just standing there, trying to seduce me or like control my life.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That'll be interesting. I'll let you know how that goes.
I'd rather not know. Maybe don't tell Peter either.
But Catherine is one interesting game, but then we're going to immediately follow that up by Lollipop Chainsaw.
Which is still weird.
It's good though. There's zombies.
Yeah, I know. It is. I played a bit of that as well. That was really fun.
I haven't actually played this one either. I haven't even touched it. I need to.
Have you not at all?
Well, I was meaning to get it for years, but I either never had enough money or forgot about it until I saw it in a store somewhere. And I saw it today and I was like, yes, it's on deal. I'm grabbing it now.
Yeah. So you picked both Catherine and Lollipop Chainsaw up.
I'm thinking about it now. The guy at the cashier, he
Did give you some weird looks.
he was looking at me like, so you're gonna have fun tonight, aren't you?
It's probably the equivalent of going to a shop and getting to the till with condoms, a cucumber, and some rope, and maybe a bit of lube. Actually, I'm sure you'll get a weirder look if you don't use lube.
It's alright, don't mind me. I've got my own lube at home.
They just look at you like, right, don't call the PTA. PETA. Don't call Peter!
But one of the first, like, there's DLC for Lollipop Chainsaw, I think. And,
Is it?
one of the costumes you can get for the main character, as far as I'm aware, is...
It's a cucumber.
It's green, funnily, now that you mention it. But,
Jesus.
You've seen High School of the Dead, right?
Yeah, I've seen High School of the Dead.
So you know the females, what colour their uniform is and things like that. You can get their uniform, the High School of the Dead uniform, as a downloadable content.
Oh, you can also get a Kill Bill costume.
Oh, you'd be all up in
It looks like. Was it? Oh no, it's not Kill Bill. It looked like it from a small image, but then the High School of the Dead uniform is just a white top with a green neck bit,
Yeah.
maybe a green skirt. It's not really like loads of green.
Nah, it's not majorly
Yeah.
green, but it just reminded me of it. But that would be cool though. It's just they want to
Oh
have
no,
a
you actually
scene
get
like.
to play.
Say
Oh,
what?
go on. I was just gonna say the DLC with the High School of the Dead DLC bit uniform. You dress like the ginger one
Ray. Yeah.
from. Oh no, she's blonde. Yeah.
You're very happy
Yeah,
to
her.
get that. It's going to be a very interesting evening playing those games.
Jesus Christ, it's not bad enough. But the character you play in Lollipop Chainsaw, she carries her boyfriend's head on a belt or something, don't she?
I've heard of that. I mean, I've heard a little bit about the game, but yeah, apparently her boyfriend's been dismembered, and
Yeah, it's
she's
just the
carrying
head.
it around. Apparently, the head gives you advice and shit, but
Oh yeah, she somehow saved its life.
how's it surviving? It's just a head.
Dude, it's a game. I have no idea. She's fighting zombies with a chainsaw. She's getting scratched and not dying and turning into a zombie from infection. I don't know how it works.
Oh god.
It's some mystical mumbo jumbo.
Mystical magickery. And I guess to bring things back to a normal tone, there was one other game that I wanted to let's play for the channel, but it's been pulled off the PSN store, and that's because Suikoden 4, which was a PlayStation 2 original, it's now been brought over to the PS3 as a digital classic. It has bugs in it, so it won't even begin, it won't even start. So I bought it when was that, 2 weeks ago? Maybe when it first came out, can't quite remember. And I was like, oh, really looking forward to playing it, because I used to love the Suikoden series on the PS2. And got it downloaded, booted it up, and it was like, no, we can't start this game for some reason. Tried a million different fixes. The internet was basically saying the same thing, like there's something wrong with the game. A couple of days later, Konami pulled it off the PlayStation Store.
Right.
So obviously there was something majorly wrong with it. And we've had not much news from them since then. Like, it better be come back out for the PS3, because I wasn't going to get a refund. But I was really looking forward to playing it. And if it does come back out, that will be another game I play, because it's really good, story-wise, and what you can do with it.
Yeah. I don't know, it looks like one of those turn-based games like Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Like it's an RPG with turn-based fighting system.
it is, yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Turn-based,
Yeah.
and well, part of the mechanics which I really liked about it was sailing on the ocean, and like I know there was an Assassin's Creed that did Assassin's Creed
Black
4?
Flag.
Black Flag, yeah. But it's
So
kind of
good.
like that, but RPG instead of stealth fighting. But the story that wrapped
There's not
around
much
it-
stealth.
Exactly, yeah. The only
Not in
thing
Black.
I have a problem with this Suikoden 4 game is that when I first played it on the PlayStation 2 way back when, I just remember the English dub voices being awful. Thankfully, like, the protagonist you play as is a silent protagonist, but everyone else's voice you kind
Like
of want.
everyone.
Oh god, it was painful. So at some point, that one year I went to Japan in Akihabara, I managed to find it out there, and I brought it
Yeah.
back, played it, had a great time with it because the voices were all Japanese. Back then I couldn't really understand a word, but I understood it
That's
because I
alright.
already played it. But I'm hoping the Japanese PlayStation Store has a Japanese version of it when it comes back out, because I'll definitely
Might
get
do.
that.
Good
But
too.
that's about it for what I'm going to be talking about. And yeah,
Is it?
well, I've gone through Suikoden, I've gone through the Metal Gears, the Catherine, the Lollipop Chainsaws. I think, yeah, there'll be more. I think randomly I'll be playing other games and sticking that around the channel. I'll probably make a playlist of like randomness, time splitters and things like that.
Good
That'll
old
be
time
fun.
splits.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully in this podcast video I'll have a bit of time splitters footage played up. And yeah, That's
Try not to die too much whilst you record it.
time splitters I'm alright with, actually. I don't think, because
Ah,
was there a difficulty?
It's just every other FPS.
Things like, well, I'm not great at Call of Duty Online, and
Neither am I.
Metal Gear Solid I've died a fair few times. Me just being an idiot, basically.
I was going to make a joke and say like 20 times as soon as you loaded up the game, but yeah,
There used to be a bug for that.
nothing like
In Metal Gear Online 2,
What, just-
I'd spawn after
Yeah.
being killed, and then I'd suddenly die again because the servers bugged out the respawns. It was like, what?
You sure it was a bug?
Yeah.
You're not just trying to cover up your terrible
I'm
gaming.
a great. I'm an average online player. Let's be honest here. But no, those bugs counted towards my death count as well. I wouldn't have minded if it didn't, but I always just get annoyed at it.
Oh, that sucks.
And because like the Metal Gear Online version 2 servers are now down, I made like a female character on that one. And
Of course.
She only wore like a bikini top and
Of course.
combat trousers.
Jesus
But
Christ,
I
you're not
really-
making it any better for yourself.
No, but I really miss her. She was such a fun character to play with. I'm digging graves here. I don't care. But
Yeah.
apparently in this new Metal Gear Online, I have to unlock bikini tops, which is a pain in the side. It's fucking pain. Well, I had to unlock them last time too, but I'm not sure if I've got to pay money for this one this time around.
Oh god, it sucks if it's freemium.
I mean, if the bikini
That's not
tops are
even
free,
premium, is it?
I'll be happy. But
Microtransactions out the ass.
we're living that day and age, don't we? They're making so
Yeah.
much money from these freaking premium shizzles.
Gotta love microtransactions. Anyway, I think that is a good point to take a break.
Yes.
Real quick break for us. It'll be like nothing for you guys. I mean, if you're listening to this, you'll just notice me rambling on right now, and then suddenly we're back in a like, whatever 2-second interval.
Editing we could do, don't worry.
We'll just be like, boop. Oh, hi, we're back.
Burp.
So we left off talking about Suikoden 4, the glitch on the PSN, and
Our favourite
Then we-
microtransactions.
oh yes, good old microtransactions and premium and all that shit.
Oh god.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I remember watching one of the videos that Richard made, and he was talking about, I think it was Killing Floor 2, and in
Might have
recent
been.
months they've added like pay to win kind of items and things like that.
I
can
never
underst-
noticed that.
well, my PC can't run Killing Floor 2, so I haven't really experienced it, but I know in other games, yeah, soon I will join you people.
Soon. You
But-
people.
He was getting really mad about it. I can understand where he's coming from as well, because
Oh yeah, it's a right pain in the arse when you pay like 40 quid, 50 quid. For any Americans, that's about $80, $90 roughly.
yeah,
For a game, and then you just get people paying like another 20 just to win the game straight away. Like, why?
I know.
Are you not happy? You got 50,000 people giving you like $90. You got enough money to not make us pay, or not have little shits pay for a fucking gun that one shots the bosses on Killing Floor 2. Why are you doing that?
And like for the rich kids and people with like unlimited money, they'll just use it. They'll use their advantage. Well, not all of them. Like I
Most of
can
them.
understand rich people. Some rich people have morals, but like the ones who just throw money
Do they?
at it. Some.
Bill Gates is an exception, but do they?
We'll find that one princess in a random country who lives in her tracksuit and just plays games all day. But she'll play nicely. Like she won't throw her royal money at the game. I should write a story about that.
Yeah, go for it.
There was an anime recently about an angel who played video games. Like she was really nice and everything when she was up in heaven, but then she came down to earth. She discovered
Became
video
human.
games, basically a fallen angel, and there was a demon in the same neighborhood she was living at, and the demon was more sensible, more angelic than the angel herself. It was really good. If anyone hasn't watched it, Gabriel Dropout, really funny anime.
You'll have to put that in the description
Yes.
and like write in the Skype chat as well, because I'll check it out at some point.
Definitely. I'll link it both ways. But with that,
You take it both ways.
I saw that card. And should have seen that coming, to be fair.
Immature jokes. Yay!
Lol, giggity.
So, David's section is over, kind of. I guess, do you have anything else to talk about?
Not really. Check out our Patreons and stuff, but there'll be more like updates over there. That's where I seem to post most of this. I'll post everywhere, like Facebook and Patreon and stuff like that. But no, yeah, check them all out. I'm always posting shizzle around.
All the links are in the description if you're on YouTube, or I'm still figuring out the iTunes and SoundCloud, which is where we're hosting the show at the moment.
The
So we're looking
audio
get the audio files and all that.
I wanted to ask, with the audio-only podcast that we stick on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that jazz, at the moment they're all without background music. Would you want to keep it that way, or stick some BGM in the background?
Yeah, we could add some background music. I think that's something that we need to talk about off the podcast, though.
There it is.
Yeah, that might be better. But yeah, if
that's
your
it,
section
basically
done.
for me. Yeah, I'm all good.
Alright, quick thing. Both me and David have our own channels, of course. I think they're linked on the YouTube page itself.
Yeah, they should.
I have a gaming channel which has been
on hiatus.
On hiatus, I guess. I haven't done anything to it or on it for about 3 years, just like the podcast. And David has his, I think it's a gaming channel.
Yeah.
It looks that way.
I've got, what do I have? I've got an anime abridged channel, my gaming channel, which I'm going to stick anime reviews on as well. And at some point there'll be a Japanese channel coming around once I've got my arse in gear.
Yeah, get your ass in gear.
I'm
I
working on it.
can't go to Japan and not know any Japanese.
I've taught you how to say boobs and like more important words.
And more important word.
Like
I
beer.
can't remember any of it.
Beer.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I remember beer. I remember haha. Is that boobs?
No, that's mother.
Oh,
Although
that's mother.
Chichi, which is another way of saying dad, is also another way to say boobs. So you're not too.
Oh, okay. I just got to remember my Dragon Ball. But yeah, I'm going to be starting to do videos on my YouTube channel again soon. I just need to find. I'm just playing through a couple games, and I think I'm not going to do anything like too long-winded, like Skyrim. I'm thinking of doing Stranded Deep.
Yeah, I want to see more of that actually. Considering I can't play it either, it'd be nice to watch it.
I think on the Resurrection episode of Shazbot, the video on YouTube has low quality graphics for it because it wasn't working too well, but I've recently upped it to higher quality and it looks so beautiful.
I mean, they look pretty decent on the last video, so if they're even better, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work on the video, but yeah. So there's that, and there's at the beginning of the episode, I mentioned, or me and David would kind of mention a game I really wanted to talk about.
Here we go.
Yes, I've kept a lot from David about this game because I wanted it to be a surprise for him. So his reaction is really good, and now I'm just rambling to make it worse for him.
I hear you.
This game, it started off with two guys. I can't remember the names right now. Let me just Google. What was it? It is a company, production studio called Soulbound. Soulbound Studios was made by Jeremy Walsh and Eddie Smith. Now, Eddie Smith, I believe, worked on some of the Halo properties as the art director, I think. Let me just read it here quick. Hold on, Eddie's.
I need to play some of the more Halo games. I haven't played a lot of Halo games recently.
I've played Halo occasionally, but Right. Yeah, there is. So Jeremy Walsh is the CEO and creative and technical director of Soulbound Studio. He worked on Star Wars Battlefront. I don't think not the newest one, the original.
Ones.
Yeah, and Dungeons and Dragons, Dragon Shard and Mercenaries. You remember Mercenaries, don't you?
I remember. I never played 2, but I remember having so much fun with the first game.
Yeah, he worked on the first one.
Great game.
Was it Free Roaming Adventures on RTS? Yeah. He was the technology, the DigiPen Institute. What? He was an instructor at DigiPen Institute of Technology. He was, more importantly, a senior software engineer lead at Microsoft. And Eddie Smith, who is the concept artist, screenwriter, and director in Soulbound Studio, but he also worked on MechWarrior 4, Halo 2 and 3, and the newest game is Rise: Son of Rome. They got together.
The Halo guys in there as well.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't looked too much into the company itself. I don't care. I just want the game.
I want the game.
I just want the fucking game. So since apparently he helped on the environments, weapons, characters, prop assets, and vehicles for the agency with Sony Online Entertainment.
Nice.
As well. Yeah, he also did. What the fuck? Also with Sony Computers Entertainment of America, he was the concept artist, illustrator, 3D modeler, and texture artist. Just there for the games and stuff.
There's some pretty big names in there.
Oh yeah. Since 2015, they came together around then, and they have been making this game. It's an MMORPG in the finest sense, really. It's sort of set in medieval times, and I really, really like medieval games like Skyrim. Mostly, it's really the game I'm playing a lot now. And David Clackety Clack. That's not a synonym for dick.
Oops.
That's literally David Clackety Clack. Because he's tapping away. So this game from Soulbound Studio is called Tales of Elyria. Pronunciation might be shit.
I think you're bang on. I think that sounds about right.
Maybe. So, Chronicles of Elyria. What I'm about to say is taken directly from the site. It's a dynamic MMORPG where your deeds become a living legacy. Where it's as close as real life as an MMORPG can come, as a game comes, really, apart from like those life sims. And as you live your life in game, they boast about a 10 to 14 month real time playtime. So in those 10 to 14 months, you make your character and you live their life. You start off somewhere, you pick your place, depending what you are. If you're just a commoner in the setting, you just start off somewhere. You start doing jobs and stuff, start hunts and sell your merchandise. You get money, you can eventually buy land and stuff, things like that. So as you live your life in those 10 to 14 months, your character does as well. He or she grows, and
Ages, right?
Yeah, they actually age. I don't know how many games.
That kind of a concept.
Yeah, this is what really put me into it. I was watching a video about most anticipated MMORPGs coming out in 2017, and this is probably set for the fourth quarter, so around October onwards.
Yeah.
Maybe won't come out for another year, but so those 10 to 14 months in real time, they are roughly 100 years in game. So time does kind of go quickly. Like you can play for a week and it's been a month in game or so.
Yeah.
And you live the whole life of this character. When you die in game, which you can die, it is an MMORPG, so you're going to have shitheads just coming up and killing you for no reason. Just why not? But let me start here. When you die in game, there are multiple ways. You're just in a little battle with someone, some strangers coming up to steal your money, your hard-earned money that you sold your cow for. And
dishonor on your cow.
They knock you out. So you're just on the floor. You can't do anything. I don't know if you see them doing stuff, but what the other person can do is, once you're knocked out, they can rummage through your pockets quickly and steal coins and stuff, but they can't unbuckle anything. You have your belt and swords on that. You can't unbuckle that. Can't take armor off the character.
For a second, I thought you were going to say they undress you.
Well, they could. Not in the way you're thinking. I'm sure they keep the underwear on. So once you're knocked out, the other character can kill you. When they kill you, you're actually dead, and you're left to your soul is left to wander around until it gets to a place called the Akashic Records. If you want to start again.
Oh, so you wander around as like a ghost or something?
Yeah, you kind of wander around like a ghost, but you can't do anything. That's what I understood from reading the FAQs and everything. But like the FAQs generally says, during normal play, you can get knocked out or receive a fatal wound in which your soul temporarily leaves your body. But neither of those are permanent death. So I was wrong. When they stab you after knocking you out, your soul just wanders around for a little while, and then I guess you come back.
Right.
But each time that you do get killed, your soul leaves your body, and the soul's connection to Elyria gets weaker. So every time you come back, you have less time to play. Like, you die at the age of 30 in game.
Oh, your lifespan goes down, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
your lifespan goes down. So you die at the age of 30, you might only live till the age of 60 instead of 80 or 90. Then each time it gets less and less until you're 31 and you die the next day.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so there's real consequences.
So eventually...
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, it would eventually that lead to a permanent death?
Yeah, basically when you reach a maximum age, so if you don't get stabbed multiple times after you get knocked out, you can live like up to 120 years. The average is about 80 though. And then that is when you go to sleep for the night, or during the day, whenever. That's your final sleep. That's it, you're dead.
Poor.
Yeah. And what you can do is, at that point, with the game, there comes a little thing called the the Spark of Life. That each one is, you can buy multiple, but they'll cost about $30 each. So that's around 15, 20 quid.
Yeah.
£20. So it's kind of expensive just to start again. You're basically rebuying the game.
Holy shit, that is as well.
Yeah. You get one Spark of Life with the game, apparently. Each Spark of Life brings your soul back to live for another about 10 to 14 months, where you can inhabit a previously NPC, a previous non-playable character, and start all over again with them.
Ah, I see.
I don't know how many games do this, but this Chronicles of Elyria, it lets you live out your life completely in game. So you start at about 20 years old, and then you live it out. In that time, you can get married and have children, and you get skill points. There's going to be mini games to get certain skills and stuff. There's not much said yet, but you have a kid and you die at the age of 31 because you've been murdered too many times. With that Spark of Life, from my understanding, you can go off your soul. You can make your soul wander to the Akashic Records, or you walk directly to your child, but you can take over their life if you have a child.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
So it is pretty cool. That means you get another 10 months basically for free until you have to buy another Spark of Life. And what happens is your child is now your character. They have all your mental states. Like if you live up to 80, you might have a lot of wisdom, but you're not as strong as you used to be. So you'll get what you have, like 5 out of 10 on strength and 9 out of 10 on intelligence. Your child, your new body gets the 9 out of 10 on intelligence and something like that. I haven't found the exact specs and exactly how it goes, but they also get that 5 out of 10 on strength, which you can then build up, and it becomes like 10 out of 20.
I'm liking these mechanics though. These mechanics so far sound amazing.
They do, don't they? And it's all done in real time, kind of. When you get 14 months of game time, like real time, you spend the next 14 months locked up in your room just playing this game. That's up to you.
If it was me and I had enough money, I probably would end up doing that.
Just open up the window sometimes, it stinks in there.
Hey!
So, you start again with your child's body, your child's name, and you're the next step in your own legacy. So, you can work up from a commoner to like a mayor of a town.
Oh,
you find a town, get a settlement. You can buy land. You have to go to your town or city's count, or your county's count, sorry, and use their land management table in the county seat, and you can buy a bit of land. There's any unclaimed land, any land that isn't owned by anyone, they'll have a deed pinned to them. So what you do is just take the contract, sign your name, and put the money on the table, and now you own a bit of land. Now, what you do with the land is up to you. You can build 3 specific types of land. You got your residential and commercial, so you get your houses, so you can live there, or your inns,
shops and things.
Shops, your inns, your little hotels. Decorate it as you want. Crafting, builds,
and brothels.
Taverns. I'm sure there'll be plenty of brothels in the world. The second one is agriculture land, where you'll have your farms, your beekeeping, your like breeding on the farms, and anything that has to do with mining the renewable resources. And then the last one is industrial land. So you have mines or tree farms, I guess, could be industrial.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's on the agriculture. It's mines or anything that is harvesting non-renewable resources. So maybe an oil field, or a gold mine.
Things like that.
What you have to do is once you buy the deed, you have to. It's basically like real life. You buy a bit of land and then you actually have to build it. You have to get a architect to design the house or the building, whatever you want. And I've never actually built a house. I've done small DIY projects. I've built a shed, and I know there was no architect involved in that. Or maybe. But
it's not an easy job, is it?
Oh no, it's a pain in the ass. But you get your architect, or you find that architect, and you get a blueprint made, and you do any changes on the blueprint you don't like. Say the door's too small because you're 6 foot, 7 foot high, and the door's 2 foot high. You just change that over. Once you approve it, because you're happy with it, you can change. You can make it tall. You can add extensions. You can have more floors. You can change the material everything's made out of. You can expand it. I've said that. But yeah, you can decorate it however you want, and that's pretty fun. Well, it's cool at least.
I'd be looking forward to building my own place. Can you visit other people's houses?
I believe so, because it is entirely MMO. There's going to be people all around. There are a couple. Since it is an MMO and it goes on real time, in a way. Like I said, 10 to 14 months is about 80 to 120 years in game.
Yeah.
That's when you're not on the computer. Your character is still alive there.
Yeah,
So
he's
you
still
can just
aging,
kill-
isn't he?
Yeah, he's still aging. So you're off for about a month. He's aged about a year. You get back, you don't recognise him. Like, who are you?
God.
It's me.
You grow up fast.
And I think children grow up fast, don't they?
Ah.
So, what Soulbound Studio are trying to do is they're trying to make a script for when you're offline. So you can, if you have a store or something where you're selling all your items and such, they're trying to make a script so he still sells stuff, but he's in a safe place so he doesn't get killed.
Okay, yeah.
Because that really would suck. You come back and you're dead. So I just paid $50 for this. Actually, the price range is between $20 to $40. It's around £15 to £30. So you just come back after a month because, I don't know, you've been on holiday or you've been in a hospital, God forbid, or something like that. You come back and your character's dead. That's a waste of 30 quid.
Exactly.
You haven't used it for a month.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is you're going to be in a safe place, hopefully. And yeah, so you shouldn't die. There are chances that you will still get shot, killed, stabbed, whatever, in whatever way. Maybe trampled by a horse, drawn and quartered. Oh, definitely. And so they want to do a script where you can still, if you're in a shop or something, you own a shop, you're selling your stuff offline, so you get back, you're still alive, and you're rich, moderately.
That would
Not
be
Bill
cool.
Gates. Not Bill Gates level rich.
One
Just-
day we can dream.
Yeah, that'd be nice. There is also real world consequences, sort of. So you can play. You can. God damn it! What's the word? You can go on a darker path in game, where instead of being this hero of Elyria, or whatever your kingdom's called, you can be douchebag and murder everyone.
That's like a choices. Is it like Fable and
Yeah, sort of like Fable.
Elder Scrolls? Did they have an option to go evil?
I
I can't remember.
don't know about anything before Skyrim. You can just murder everyone in Skyrim, but all that's going to happen is you get put in prison or everyone attacks you. But I don't remember any, and I haven't really been on a murdering spree yet. I'm not high enough level. But yeah, more or less, crimes in Chronicles of Elyria, such as attacking other characters, is actually punishable by prison time. And the more time you spend in prison, the shorter your lifespan in game.
Yeah.
And the more their skills disintegrate, I guess, the less powerful they will become. And it also depends on who you killed. If you killed a commoner, you might spend a week in game, or I think it was 2.5 hours real time that you spend in jail. If you kill a king, you're going to spend life in prison. And there's going to be different servers. Each server will be a kingdom, or maybe it was 5 kingdoms per server. And this game, they started development on Kickstarter, where they got people donating. I think it was over $5,000. You would be a king of your own kingdom. You get to name it and everything.
$5,000. What the hell?
That's a lot. I don't think it was $5,000. It might have been a bit lower, but it was a lot of money for a game.
Jesus.
There was a lot more perks, but they stopped crowdsourcing on Kickstarter, and they're accepting donations on their page, on their actual website, which you will be able to see down below with the link. There's a lot in the FAQs alone on the page, but you can see about the gameplay and the overview as well. There's some lore and religion, which I won't get into at all right now. And the combat, it's going to be magic. And just quickly to touch on families and genetics, but there is also professions. You can actually get a job in this. There's also nobility. Like I said, there's kings, there's counts, there's barons, there is what's above that. Maybe not barons, but there's duches.
I forgot my hierarchy. Earls?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Or lords?
Maybe. Yeah, there's lords. So there's kings, there's lords. There is duches, there's counts, and then there's mayors, and then there's you, the commoner. Unless you paid absurd amounts of money. So yeah, when you start, you create your character, you create your family. You start off with, you're the first one with that surname. And obviously it won't let you choose surnames like fuck's sake. Or, that was a wrong term. But it won't let you use swear words and stuff as family names unless you're a bit creative. So try to be creative if you want the name Fuckhead. And like when you choose your family in the in real world, you don't do that. But like I said, in the game, you pass on. So let's say you're a dark-skinned gentleman with brown hair, brown eyes. You pass that on to your kids. You're a white guy with blue eyes and blonde hair. There's a chance of passing on both of those features, but your kid's probably going to be white.
Most likely, unless something fair happens somewhere.
It doesn't have to be an affair, but unless you choose a different. I don't know if there's races. But I mean, unless you choose someone with a different skin color and different genetics and stuff, if you in-game marry a white person and you're a white person, then your kid's going to be white.
Yeah.
But, you know, there is multiracial and relationships and things like that as well. It'll
be an
have
interesting,
different.
like, just to see how they play out.
Yeah. I wonder how long pregnancy lasts in the game. Because 9 months is a long time.
Exactly.
If about 14 months is 120 years in game, that's a long.
If you had a kid if it was like 3 weeks, and you got someone pregnant often, you'd have like a ton of kids by after a real time year. If there's like 52 weeks in a year,
Yeah,
that's
a lot of kids.
Insane amount of kids.
You can start your own kingdom.
We could,
Yeah, but yeah, you can. But there's a collection of physical attributes that are passed down from parent to children, like in real life: hair, eyes, skin color, different facial features, height, and a range of other body attributes. And the constraints placed on the child's physical appearance guarantees that family members closely remember one another. So your kid is going to look like you, like your character anyway.
That's going to be awesome.
It is, isn't it? And there's inheritance as well. So because you are going to die. Just like real life, you are going to die.
Yeah.
There's no way around this. You can inherit, or you can give your children inheritance, or your wife or husband, and that's your next character. Whoever you give your inheritance to when you die of old age, that's how, well, when you die of your permanent death, which can be 31 years old, like I said, depending on how many times you get stabbed, your official heir becomes your new character.
God.
And you can, like I said at the beginning with the spark of life bit, you can also give a non-family member your inheritance, but that's going to be not as common.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you select your heir, that character is going to inherit. I can hear myself. That was odd. That character is going to inherit your land, your title. So if you're a duke, that was the one I forgot. If you're a duke, your child's going to be the next duke.
Ah.
It's going to have all your money and all your possessions, just like real life. Your child is going to take everything off you.
Lord.
Maybe even the cape, maybe even the cape off your back.
Well, in a way, it's kind of like you know, a lot of games have New Game Plus, and you can
Yeah, it's
start a
kinda
new
like that.
game, but with all your previous treasures and all that jazz. It's
Yeah, it's
doing
kind of like that.
it's doing New Game Plus based on real life circumstance.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
What's it say here? With your next Spark of Life, which is that £30 revive, or $30 revive, you can then choose to play as your heir with the same family support system as you continue to build your family dynasty.
Hmm.
And if you're a carpenter, your kid ain't gonna get shit. If you're not one of the best carpenters in Elyria,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna get shit. I'll quickly touch on research and skills. So you can become a master blacksmith. Everyone wants that, don't they? You want to be the best blacksmith. The king comes to you, demands you to make him a giant metal dildo sword.
I'm gonna kill you with my
because
dildo.
because you're the best, you're the master blacksmith. You're who he goes to. It's going to take us to upgrade skills like that, blacksmithing, carpentry, things like that. It's gonna require fast reflexes and good hand-eye coordination. It's going to be a mini game to upgrade those. I don't know how often you can do it. Maybe once a day or something. Only for like 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. Maybe even less. From the look of the picture, it looks like what you see on Skyrim when you're making a new sword or armor. It's just whacking an anvil.
That's cool.
And the mini game is for all non-combat skills, all the carpentry, blacksmithing, medical. I guess there's going to be doctors. I'm sure there is.
Hmm.
Things like that. There is no auto attack anymore. If you effectively swing a sword, it's because you chose the precise moment to do it. You got this. It's basically, you know, in like Saints Row, sometimes you do certain kill moves on a character. You have to press RT, the right trigger or the left trigger. What are they called?
Quick time events.
Yeah, quick time events. You chose the precise moment, and I'm thinking a quick time event pops up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can become a Master Emerald, apparently. So it says on the site, if your character cuts a Master Emerald, so I was wrong, worthy of sitting on the crown of its king, it's because your own nimble fingers made it happen, apparently. With a skill system that rewards failure instead of success, really, it rewards failure, and mechanics requiring player skill in addition to character skill, you must take on ever-increasing challenges. So the mini games to get better at blacksmithing and stuff like that, it's gonna get harder as you progress. It's gonna be harder to swing that hammer at the right moment to hit that steel whilst it's really hot and shape it properly.
Oh god, I'm gonna fail so hard at some of those.
As am I. The skills, I'll just do skills and research / technology real quick, and then you can read the rest on the site. So the skills are, there is 6 basic skills, top level skills, top level categories in the skill tree. You got combat, that's obviously your ability to fire with one-handed or two-handed weapons or unarmed, throwing, ranged, and other sneak attacks, things like that. The survival, because a lot of the time you will be in the wilderness, that's why you need a house, so you don't die, you don't get attacked by a wolf. But the survival is literally just have to survive in the wilds. The skill tree is about finding food and water, tracking your prey, making sure you don't die, and being able to find your way out of that really dense forest. You got crafting, which is self-explanatory, but it does include making consumables and making consumables along with armor, weapons, furniture, and jewelry. Gathering, which kind of ties into survival, really. It's just your ability to gather and process raw materials like iron ore or wolf pelts or gems and such. And then there's deviant, which are those less savoury skills that may aid you in surviving more urban areas. So, basically trying to be, I don't know, if you don't mind the steep risk of associating with pickpockets, purse cutters, crafting false identities and forging documents. So deviant is literally just being deviant, it's being a thief, it's being starting an underground organisation to steal everyone's purses and pretend you're them.
Interesting.
You're a old, muscly, scarred guy pretending to be a woman, as it happens.
Ugh, that can't look good.
And the last skill in this skill tree is Bardic, which is your charisma, it's your academics, your intelligence, and how you are as a performer, which can include music, reading ancient languages. So as I said, there's lore, so you have to read up on that. It may be the Illyrian equivalent of Latin or anything older than that, ancient Arabic, Greek. You'll be able to read that better. Yeah, if you upgrade your bardic skill, you'll be able to do that, performing forensic analysis or creating finely detailed maps, and it's all about information and discovery, really. And if you max out your bardic skill tree, you'll be great at research. And right now I'm looking at a picture of a giant scorpion, and I don't mean the animal, I mean like Age of Empires type scorpions. But this one's stationary. I love the scorpions. It says here, Chronicles of Elyria continues to push the envelope with a system of research-driven technologies, which lets the players determine the direction of research, while allowing us to monitor the rate with which technology is evolving. So you will go from Stone Age to... You don't start in the Stone Age. I'll make that clear. You don't start in the Stone Age. You start in like medieval times. So you go from there and you start making trebuchets and the other things. I can't remember. Can't remember my ancient history and shit like that.
Ancient weaponry.
Yeah, I can't remember wartime stuff like that. But you'll start making trebuchets and other things like that. You'll start figuring how to make livestock live longer, how to make your weapons stronger, your armor lighter and stronger and more flexible. And basically, I really want to play this game. I can't wait till it comes out.
It sounds like it. It does sound amazing though, from what you've been saying. All these little features and effects and what you can do. It just sounds incredible.
I just want to keep talking about it because there's so much I haven't touched yet. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I don't know how long it's been. I haven't really been keeping tabs on it.
Long enough.
This particular recording is 40 minutes by itself.
Jesus Christ, I think this is going to be a separate podcast. I will end off saying, reading off of the business model page off of Chronicles of Elyria, which reflects on Soulbound Studio itself. So, Chronicles of Elyria utilises a new business model never before seen in MMOs. Different from the monthly subscription or free-to-play.
I was curious.
It's not
about
like
this.
that. Yeah, it's not a subscription. It's not like most MMORPGs, like in Elder Scrolls Online, where you're paying. I think that's a subscription-based game, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I don't know how much it is per month, though.
Or is it? I can't remember.
And Final Fantasy 14's pay per month.
Yeah, or like WoW, those types of games are free to play with microtransactions. Remember those?
Happy. Although I guess the spark of life, in a way, that counts as some
In a
sort
way.
of... I mean, that sounds like the only income they're getting from...
Yeah, apart from paying the actual game, which, like I said, is about $40, 30 quid. Apart from that, there is the Spark of Life system where you pay $30 each time you permanently die. And if you remember from the beginning, that's not when you get stabbed to death, it's when you get stabbed to death so many times that your life expectancy is only 31. Or just generally old age, so medium 80 years, the most if you're lucky is 120.
I guess some of that goes towards server maintenance though, so I wouldn't be too fussed if it was just that, but is there others, like microtransactions or anything?
No, there's no microtransactions whatsoever.
That's pretty
Or
awesome.
they don't mention it at least. There might be.
At
I
this
will
point.
hate it. At this point, they don't say microtransactions available, but they do say it's not a free-to-play game with cash shop microtransactions. They do compare it a bit to the 80s and like late 70s, early 90s arcades with the coin slot, where you put 50 cents, 20p, whatever it was, every time you died.
I see. Oh no, in that case,
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. And if that's all they want for like maintenance for servers and stuff like that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise their servers would be crap if it's an MMORPG.
It would. It also says in Chronicles of Elyria, bodies age and die, but the souls live forever. In your new body, whether that be of your heirs, like we said, or someone else entirely, like I said, you can take over an NPC, or so it makes it seem.
Yeah.
So you can take over Debbie the local whore. And
you wouldn't last very long like that.
Oh no, you wouldn't. Old tiny AIDS.
Yeah.
But your skill ramp will get you back to power quickly. You retain those skills that you learn. You're a master backsmith. You're still a master backsmith. I don't know how it works, because that's not how it is real life.
Child prodigies and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can advance further. If you have a child and make them your heir, which is the best choice really for when you die as a character, because if you live a nice life till 80, your child's about 20, 25, so you can take over and start again with all your skills, and you live another like 60 years to progress in the game, and you keep doing that. Eventually your great grandson it could be a mayor or a duke or anything high up in the game's status, so you can end up being the king somehow. Just marry into it.
I'll be there one day. I'll be Debbie the whore, but somehow I'll marry myself into becoming queen.
And then you die and take over the queen. Oh, another thing about the marriage in game, you don't automatically, when you get married, someone else dies, they can take over your wife. Or there's also a thing which they want to try and keep like, is that you and another player can get married. And
yeah.
you want to try getting twins more than just one child. But what they want to try doing is, since you two have been married, if you live a decent life, you two, no one else can take like your spouse or something.
Yeah.
Or like if it's an NPC you marry and you live a long life, no one else can take over that body, something like that.
Kind of like reserving a soul.
Kind of reserving the lineage.
Yeah.
Like, keeping it same two players.
Keeping the blood clean.
Ugh. Incest. This ain't Game of Thrones.
Not yet, it isn't. Wait for the weirdos to start coming playing.
Wait till it comes out.
Aye.
So yeah, that's enough. I think that's enough for this podcast.
We'll name this the hour-long. It's going to be more than an hour. We'll do the last recording, but the hour-long special of Shazbot podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Rendering this is going to be fun.
Oh, I'm sure it is. We can talk about whether we're going to break it up into 2 podcasts or not, because it is a very long. Plus, there's your side in it.
That's alright. Especially when I get my stronger system as well. I'll brush through that in an hour.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. I'm really excited for Chronicles of Elyria. I cannot wait.
I couldn't tell.
No, you couldn't, could you? It sucks.
You've got me very excited as well. I've been waiting for that for a long time.
And hopefully, dear listener, you're excited about it as well, because you want to find out more. You want to give Soulbound Studio your $40, and maybe your next 30
to become king.
No, they're not doing that anymore. The Kickstarter's finished.
You've missed it, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we're about 2 years too late. I think they stopped early last year doing the Kickstarter, but they're still taking donations. I don't know if it counts towards buying the game. I think it does. It'd be good if it does. That way I'll just give them the money now. and reserve my copy.
The website's probably got a ton of information.
Oh yeah, but you have to sign up.
Ah.
It does have a lot of information about the game itself and how it's going to be, which is where I got all my information from. And you can click the link down below in the description on YouTube, and I'll figure out for iTunes and that. To read everything that I missed, read it in your own, like read it how they wrote it, and because they were going to explain it better than I did. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think you understand.
I can tell by the enthusiasm and the passion in your voice.
Yeah, I can't wait. And now I just have to find a pirate game to be excited about, because of Black Flag. You made me remind me of that game. Anyway,
the pirate games. I haven't really been looking, but that was.
There's a
good
couple
game.
on Steam. There's one or two on Steam. I think one's in my wish list, but we can talk about those in a different podcast.
Yes.
Right now, I think we got enough time.
We gotta put a limiter on this somewhere. But
Yeah, especially because SoundCloud only allows you 3 hours until you have to pay.
Oh crap! Yeah, I forgot about that. Hey. Well, in that case, thank you for listening, guys. If you're still with us, well done. I'm proud of you.
That's why.
Check the links below in the description. Patrons, Facebooks, Twitters, all your daily dose of social media. Omar, got any last words?
Hurry up, Soulbound. I really want to play.
There we go. Omar for you guys. Thank you, and we
Come
will
on.
catch you next episode if Omar's still alive and hasn't strangled himself by then.
I'm sure I won't. Have to wait for Chronicles of Elyria.
That's a good point.
I'll strangle myself before I pay the extra 30 quid.
Next spark of life.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.